I think it says we live, right?
Yep.
All right. All right. First and foremost, we're gonna say all praises be to Yahweh,
No,
Hashem,
Hashem, Yahweh Shai,
Yahushai, Hashem, Bukal,
Hashem
Fadash.
Baruch.
And then we gonna say double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. All right, and shalom to the sincere elected in truth of faith and sincerity. As well, and hey, man, we are going to speak about it, Esau in terms of having, bills to obviously pay. Of course, Lord willing, soon and later on in the live, the elder Wakai Kwam should um, uh, come on as well and join us, and we just go in the spirit and speak. As you can see with the title, it says Esau will be liquidated, and the fact that he's got bills to pay. And really the main inspiration for the video that we're doing here, Lord willing, was based on a video and a conversation that I was having last night with the brother. Was talking about basically Esau, and even also the spirit of Cain, not being accountable for their wickedness. I mean, if you look at Cain, what he did when he murdered his brother, you know, out of envy, and even not giving up the right sacrifice, he knew the way of righteousness, but instead chose wickedness. And then when time came to obviously be judged for his wickedness, he complained about it. And in terms of even Esau with the when he sold his birthright after he realized everything that he had lost, he wanted to mourn and cry, and then even
Mm.
go as far as to obviously say the days of mourning for my father is at hand, and then I will kill my brother Jacob. Instead of taking accountability, you know what I mean? Like instead of saying, you know what, me giving away that birthright, was a wicked, and let me try like a repent. That door of repentance was just completely shut to Esau, like, and obviously closed. And that
So let me
spirit
grab that for you.
is on Esau right now until this very day, right? Of
Yep.
not being, what I mean, accountable for all of their sins and wickedness. And when people
Mhm.
speak about it, they get mad. You know, they've done nothing but bring evil, death, destruction, steal, murder. And when he's faced with his mirror, you know what I mean, of his history and his past, he wants to, complain and like act as if he's the victim when he's not the victim. You know?
Yep. Let me grab this for you, bro.
Yeah.
Just on what you were speaking about. This is Hebrews 12, from 16. This is, lest there be any fornicator, uh, or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected, for he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears.
Yeah. Yeah. And spiritually, he's a carnal man, because when it came down to like, to the birthright, he gave it, what's it called, man away for some food, which just shows you, I mean, it's not spiritual, man.
Mm.
But then after the fact, when he realized shit, the power and everything he's lost, now he was trying to go back and find it. The father is the way he can get a blessing, not realizing that, look, man, it's all gone. And really, in spirit, man, that birthright and blessing, it was
Right.
always for us, you know what I mean? But in fact, bro, if you can, after making your point, can you ask Chat GBT, because I did that last night, the importance of the birthright and blessing, why it's so valuable. But yeah, go ahead, bro.
Let me just type that in now. What is the importance of the birthright and blessing?
Yeah,
Um,
why it's so valuable? Because because it wasn't, you know what I mean. There's a lot more that comes with that birthright, like a blessing. You know, to actually stand in like in the presence of the Lord. You know, because the as the scripture speaks about the you know the blessing of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Man, this is it's very important. You know.
that's it. So
Yeah.
this is, I sort of asked, what is the importance of the birthright and blessing given to Jacob? What is its value? So the birthright and blessing given to Jacob in the book of Genesis are central to the biblical story of Israel. They carry deep spiritual, covenantal, and national significance far beyond material wealth.
Mhm.
So it says the birthright. It says Jacob obtained the birthright from his older brother, his older twin brother Esau, right? Genesis 25, 29 through 34. Right. And as the brother was going into, that birthright was always meant to be for the children of Israel. Right. It was ultimately never for Esau. Right. And it's just the most I can do that. Right. Same when you look at Joseph and Ephraim, right?
Yeah.
You know, the Lord had it whereby the younger was the one that basically got the bigger blessing, if you will, right? Same with Esau, Jacob and Esau, right? In our customs, if you will, right? This oldest is supposed to get, but it wasn't meant to be that way. Okay. So it says what the birthright included. It says leadership of the family clan, a double portion of inheritance, spiritual responsibility as family priest,
You see,
continuation.
spirit and like in spirit, you know, we like as a nation shall be like a nation of kings and priests. Really, you know what I mean? Like if you really think about it, because you know the saints gonna judge this world. You
Mhm.
know, which again in spirit it was always you know what I mean? Like it's always us. You know what I mean? It's always ours. Go ahead.
Yep. So it says continuation of covenant promises given to Abraham and Isaac.
Yeah, you see, because again, it was always supposed to be ours, man. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the fathers of the promise, man.
Mhm.
You know, yeah,
Yep. So it says its importance in ancient Near Eastern customs, the firstborn son normally received this status automatically. Esau's decision to sell it for a meal symbolized disregard for long-term spiritual inheritance in exchange for immediate satisfaction.
and bro, you know what? With that, can we read Psalms 50 and 16 because it's like he disregarded that really because it was never his in the spirit, but obviously just from play by play how we see it took place and it played out. It's like, bro, he ain't spiritual, man. He thought more about his carnal needs than the spiritual blessing, man. You see, yeah, bro.
That's it. And if I can say, this is very much that spirit is very much the spirit of Esau. That's the spirit that he's put on this world. Okay, where it's that
Mm,
all about that instant gratification. It's like I want it now, I want it now, I want it now. Okay.
mm.
So it says Psalms 50 and 16, but unto the wicked the most I saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee.
Yeah, and again, Cain and Esau, they was in the same spirit. Because remember, when they both came with a sacrifice, Abel came with what the firstings of his flock. So if he knew what to do, then Cain also knew what to do because their father Adam, which was given that breath of life, right? He knew what to do because the Lord was dealing with him. So why didn't Cain do what he was supposed to do?
Just can't do
And
right.
then because he can't do that. And when his blessing got disregarded, his bitch ass got mad. And it's like, take accountability, man.
Mhm.
Take accountability of, you know what, man, I was supposed to do righteousness, but I just didn't do what I was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's historically been the mindset of Esau. He never takes accountability for anything. When he's wicked, he wants to blame other people.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because if we go further down onto the seed line of Cain, remember there was a dude by the name of Lamech, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "Look, man, if you slay Cain and vengeance comes upon you sevenfold, well, shit. If you slay me, it's gonna be 70 times 7." So,
Let me grab that for you.
go ahead.
This is Genesis 4:24. It says, "If Cain shall be avenged a sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and 7." So,
Yeah, I mean, so basically, he's talking big shit.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because they can't do right. Their spirit was always meant for the purposes of wickedness. So when the scripture
Yeah,
speaks about Jacob being a plain
23.
man dwelling in tents, he wasn't just in his room on his, you know, on his phone scrolling on TikTok. He's just in his tent, just chilling, playing PS5 in his tent. No, he's a plain man because he's basically perfect, man. A morally
100%.
upright, spiritual man. Which that's the seed line of righteousness, really. The sons of God, which we shall all be in that righteous state, man.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
It says Jeremiah 13:23. It says, "Can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil."
Time, bro. Speaking it.
Yeah, and that's it. As bro was going into, man. It's just like when you've got these Edomites, they can't do right. Like it's not in them to do right, and so then what that then means is nowadays when we see this Edomite doing anything, we already know it's like if he's purporting to do anything good, it's just like nah, he's not.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because it's not in him to do good, right? So I was using those examples about changing skin or leopard changing spots like that. That is that setting. That is the setting for that particular thing. And it's like if those are accustomed to do evil, that's their settings. Okay.
Yep. Carry on a bit more in that information topic, sir.
Yep. So back in the chat, so it says in ancient Near Eastern customs, the firstborn son normally received this status automatically. Esau's decision to sell it for a meal symbolized disregard for long-term spiritual inheritance in exchange for immediate satisfaction. Its value.
Mm-hmm.
Materially, it meant greater wealth and authority. Spiritually, it meant becoming the chosen heir of the Messiah's covenant promises, which
Which again,
ultimately shaped the
in
history of
spirit,
Israel.
exactly. So ultimately, it was always for Jacob. Good.
Yep. This is the blessing. It says later, Jacob received the patriarchal blessing from his father Isaac. Genesis 27 says what the blessing contained: dominion and leadership, prosperity, protection, the
Yeah.
continuation of the Mosai's covenant.
You see, dominion and leadership. Because at the end of the day, they're still mad. Remember,
Yeah.
these Rothschilds and these elites, they know that they are of the house of Esau, right? Again, if you go to the master plan of the illuminated Rothschilds, Marinox, it was touching that how they know that they are of the house of Esau. So now that's why they're trying to artificially engineer back their birthright and blessing through the marketed beast
Hmm.
system and establishing their basically this NWO is their attempt at establishing their artificial blessing, man.
Hmm.
Like as in artificial birthright and trying like and finally establish what he thinks is his because he's scorned really. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
He's scorned because it's mine. It's mine. It was supposed to be mine. But guess what? It was never yours,
That's it.
right? Because you are the vessels of wrath fitted for
Hmm.
destruction. and you've gone throughout Earth stealing everything, murdering everyone, and you got bills to pay.
That's it.
And that's why you spiritually, physically, you're gonna be like a liquidated people, bro. You know, all your wealth that you've swallowed down, because this guy's greedy, bro.
Hmm.
He's going on eating everything, man.
Cannot be
The only
satisfied.
time, you know what I mean, he's just not satisfied. The only time you have a nigga that comes to the barbecue, man, and everyone's not even had a plate, and this nigga already got 9 plates in his hand. Like, nigga, damn, what the hell's wrong with you?
At least for somebody else.
Leave
But
some for somebody else.
yeah, I must needs get this. And
Yeah.
as has been said plenty of time, it's like there's just certain precepts that we're in the season where they always come out, right? When you do a video, certain precepts gonna come up. Shameful spoon on Esau's gonna come up. Spirit not being upright is gonna come up, right? The fact that he need to keep it at home, especially when you see some of the things that they've been saying they're moving a lot of assets to that Arabia region a long time. But then it's like, why have they got bases there? Why? Because you need to keep it at home. So that's going to be coming up a lot. This is Habakkuk 2, 4, and 5. So behold, his
Mm-hmm.
soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. Okay, here it is. You got these man that are billionaires, trillionaires, but they they want the little $500 you got in your account.
Yep.
you
Yep.
know, it says, but the
Yep.
just shall live by his faith. Says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his
He's
possession.
everywhere. He's just everywhere, man. You know, constantly, like, you know what I mean? Like invading countries. You know what I mean? If you have a resource, you know, he wants, he just comes and puts you in slavery. You remember that the information, the confessions of economic hitmen. It's hell.
Mm,
It's like if you don't comply, you're cooked. If you don't comply, regime change. If that don't
mhm.
work, just know when you next catch that flight, that
Yep,
plane might not land.
that's it. And you got certain things, certain conspiracies about 'cause the one that's coming to mind was at Lockerbie.
Mm.
Let me just see if I can would you call it? But then you know what it is though, they will have an account, right, where there's an accident with some kind of plane or whatever, and then they'll just blame it on Iran.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Right, but these times it was the elites, right? They were trying to take someone out, right? They take him out and then they just blame it on someone else, right? And
Bro,
because
it
of
was
the
just
media machine,
yep, and it was the same thing.
sorry, one sec, just adding the elder to the stream. Sorry, one sec.
Kind. Yep.
Shalom Zakon.
Hello, Melda.
Hey, Shalom, y'all busting me say what Rakadan.
Shalom, yeah, but
Hello, Melda.
Can you speaking?
No, yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, you brothers go ahead.
Sorry,
Kind.
bro. Shucks.
Yeah, and bro, you know, kind in spirit, like what we were talking about, like his insatiable kind of attitude. It's like in Rome, right? Like Rome, sometimes they might lose certain battles and conflicts, yeah. But what made Rome great in terms of their military might, it was the consistency of look, if you take us out, we're gonna come back and keep coming back until we get what we want.
Mm,
And with this, you know, with Western imperialism, that's what they've done. They've gone to many countries. Sometimes they lose battles, but guess what? Through their economic hitman, through cultural subversion, propaganda, they're gonna get to their way like eventually. And what is led to is a system that's based on nations in debt, nations in slavery, cultures completely ruined, histories of people just completely ruined. And it's like now he has debts to pay. And when we show him that mirror, he gets mad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing we saw with Esau and Cain. Here it is, you sold the damn birthright, and then after, what do you say? The days of mourning for my father at hand, and I'm gonna kill that dude, Jacob. Instead of taking accountability for your stupid ass not being
Mm-hmm.
spiritual. And now that's what happens in this very day. When you show Esau that mirror of his wickedness, he gets mad.
Yeah,
You know?
hey, it's kind of especially them Brits. They they
Oh man.
wanna they wanna try and rewrite history to make it look like there was positives to all their exploitation, their parasitical nature. And like you said, what it really comes down to is Esau's form of rulership is based upon the carnal mind. It's based on covetousness. It's based on a parasitical nature, meaning you're feeding off a host, but you don't give nothing back.
Mm.
Right? An exploitative relationship. Esau exploits people. There's a difference. Like you could rule over a people and offer them things that they're like, yo, this rulership's working for me. You know what I'm saying? Like even when you go back to Solomon, you had nations that actually came and put themselves under Solomon.
That's it.
They were like, yo, these men are so wise. Like we just need to be under their banner
Mm.
because they got it going on. Whereas Esau, you don't really get nothing from Esau. Ultimately, it's a net negative because Esau wants to crush you. He wants to oppress you into oblivion, which is why you got the first world and you got the third, not even the second world. You got the first world and then you got the third world. And then even in the West now, Esau's so parasitical and so predatory and so oppressive that he's even now beginning to oppress his own people. And that's why they're getting upset. Because now the average everyday Edomite is becoming a target to their elites more than,
Mm.
as much as everyone else. The middle class is falling apart. The working classes can't get no upward mobility. But that's because you have a carnal, wicked spirit, which is based upon just stealing. You don't have nothing to offer. You have no empathy.
That's it. And as the elders you was going into just now, where in contrast, Isaiah 2 basically says in the kingdom that nations are going to be coming up to us, right? They're going to be like, yo, hey, we've seen the shine that you have as a nation. We want to learn from you. We want to, show us of your ways, right? They're going to be happy to be coming to the children of Israel. Whereas right now we're in a world where he comes he comes to you, right? And you accept, otherwise problems. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Khan, that goes into that precept when the righteous are in rule.
Oh yeah, yeah, I could grab that.
That's a good precept because there's more than one way to rule a people. And Esau's form of authority and his form of rulership is really oppression. That's all it is. It's how can I squeeze everything out. These people, they're not even people. They're just things that I can exploit.
Mm-hmm.
And then he actually embedded that into his science. So that's why he's calling people apes and lesser lesser evolved, because he has to dehumanize you to treat you as less than, in order to justify his mindset, which is
Mm.
extremely oppressive and extremely predatory, virulent, insatiable. Go on.
That's it. This is Proverbs 29:2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear fall, the people mourn.
There you go. He wants to talk about infrastructure, but the only reason that Esau built infrastructure in the third world was for exploitation.
Exactly. Exactly. It was to move the goods. It's like Esau's a because it's like I didn't know if he was going to say some more. Sorry.
No, break it down.
Yeah, no, because you have like certain places in the third world where like E had, let's say you had T, for example. T was on some awkward ass mountains, right? Then he had to make roads for it to take all of that T, to take all of those goods from one place to another place. It's always capitalism with Esau, right? And if anyone's ever been in a country, for instance, that doesn't have good roads, the journey from one place to another place can be like 10 times as long because you can't physically move those goods. But then came along what was referred to as the time as the locomotive, right? So then now you can have lots of those goods from deep inside of a country being taken in mass to a port space or whatever, so that they can basically take more out of that country faster. And that's all it was.
Yeah, and that John Perkins, the economic hitman, just to bring it to the modern day, he broke that down in his book, how these infrastructure projects that they build in these countries don't benefit the average person. It's
Mhm.
literally only there to to aid in the exploitation, so that the big corporations can come in and bleed the people dry. And another thing you have, they would set the people up here to do a form of agriculture which didn't feed them,
Mm.
because it was purely based upon Esau's commercial needs. That's why even to this day you have countries growing crops that they shouldn't be growing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, they, instead of growing crops to feed their people, they're growing crops for Esau's corporations, and then on top of that, they're getting the bare minimum out of it.
Hmm.
You know, so that's why you have famines and people struggling to eat and things of this nature, because again, Esau's rulership is all it's all about being a predator. It's all about exploiting people.
Yeah.
You know, which that's not how you suppose. If the scripture says you even meant to take care of your animals, how are you meant to take
mm,
care of other human beings, man?
yeah.
But this guy, he's doing too much. But it's in his nature. He's a carnal man.
That's it. Can I just on what you were saying, because this is an example of that, right? So on palm oil, right? It says palm oil is the world's most widely used vegetable oil. But then goes on to say environmental impact. Massive demand for palm oil, particularly in Indonesia and Malaysia, has resulted in widespread deforestation, peatland destruction, and loss of biodiversity, right? And when you do look at some of those, clips of the amount of land that basically has been used for the sake of palm oil, it is actually kind of ridiculous,
Mhm.
and it's like it's just scarring the land.
And there's plenty of examples of that. You know, of you got places in the world where the man are struggling for food because all the food is being exported.
Hmm.
You know, or they're growing coffee instead of growing food, and they're getting barely any money for their coffee. The farmers that's growing the coffee are broke, but Esau setting the price of the coffee from New York. Can I read a precept real quick? Because you go to the blue letter, you read Micah 2:1. It says, as the title, woe to the oppressors. And like I said, there's a difference between a ruler and an oppressor.
Yep.
There's a difference. Esau's rulership and his system of rulership is oppression. When we're in the kingdom, yeah, we're going to have him in slavery. Yeah, we're going to do all those things, but we're not going to be on the mindset of an oppressor.
Mm.
We're going to allow the nations to learn to truly be enlightened, because we're not going to be competing with them and having to sabotage them. We're going to rise. They're going to rise. Everybody's rising.
Mm.
And which is actually creates a better world where people have access to the right amount of information, education, everything they need to do the best they can. And then obviously we're going to take our cut because we're due do that cut. You know what I'm saying? When you're ruling and everything's running nice, are you not due a cut of that?
Mm.
If I teach you how to set up your nation and you have abundance of food because of it, do you not owe me something off the back of that?
Mm.
And that's what we're going to receive. We're going to receive our tithes as priests and kings over the earth. But Esau, he want everything, man.
Mm.
And he want to starve you out. This guy's crazy.
Yep.
Right. This is Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity. Right. And what's iniquity? Stealing, covetousness, right? That's iniquity, covetousness, stealing, false balance, lying. Because when you come up with a scheme and then you go into that scheme and you lie and you manipulate, that's evil.
Mm.
You're supposed to
Mm.
just come straight with it. Esau don't come straight with it. It's always ulterior motives and schemes,
Yeah.
Yep.
right? It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And Esau, the Lord blessed Esau to be able to basically perform the workings of his heart in the earth, right? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. The Lord gave Esau the military might, everything he needed, and said, okay, what are you going to do with it? And what did he do with it? These devils want to act like they're these. You have the power, you have the ability to do whatever you want in the earth. And what you did was destroy, steal,
Mm.
murder.
Yeah.
That's what you chose to do because that's what's in your heart. You could have done the opposite.
Yep.
You could have actually made it a world of enlightenment.
Yeah.
You could have
So,
actually been what you claim to be, which is this chief individual that's just raising all ships. You know what I'm saying? But that's not who you are. That's not who you are. Who you are is a murderer, a thief, a roadman, a gangster.
Yep. I mean, bro, like, I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, just to give a quick example on a video that we we obviously do soon. Like, number one, you know what I mean, is healthcare. Like,
Mm,
healthcare and the food is just one aspect of this nigga is just wicked. Because even like this, Babylon on paper, right? On paper, Babylon as a nation spends the most on healthcare. Like it has the most gyms, the most everything by comparison to anywhere else in the world. But it's the most unhealthy nation. I mean, how does that work? You know what I mean? And obviously you obviously have um, these herbs and things that already exist in nature that he chooses to just not use. Instead, let me make some artificial bullshit that just keeps you sick.
yeah,
Like
because
that's it.
now I'm
Go ahead,
saying
bro.
because that goes back to his oppressive nature. Because an
Oppressive
oppressor
nature. Yep.
always seeks to keep the oppressed weak, and part of keeping you
Mhm.
weak is your health.
That's it.
We ain't gonna do that in the kingdom. Everyone, as long as you don't do mad sinning, everyone's gonna be healthier because we're gonna make
Yep.
sure that the right information. No, another thing this brother will tell you: bare confusion, like 1,000 different diets.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, and 999 of them are scams. Yeah.
Yep.
Um, don't eat. This is bad for you. But if you listen to Esau, almost everything gives you cancer. Everything's bad
Bro.
for you. There's so much confusion. Yeah. 1 minute coconut oil is bad for you. Next minute is
Yeah.
good for you. Gluten free or gluten. Bro, there's so much confusion about what
Yep.
is healthy. And that's because of
Yep.
Esau.
Yep.
You don't know what to do. Should you skip breakfast? Should you have breakfast? Should you, bro? It's mad out here.
It's bad out here, bro. Bro, like now, yeah, I'm making a joke, but now brothers might eat a damn Danish and get mental health issues. It's
I've
like
got
if I can eat a damn donut, like shit. Obviously,
Yeah,
obviously that's something if you can avoid, but things happen. You know what I'm saying?
but that's because of Esau, because he constantly lied and changed like what is there.
Yep.
The Bible just teaches a balanced diet, man, and the right herbs, and just utilizing wisdom and understanding. But Esau, again, that's not what Esau's all about. He's a dark. He operates in darkness, so he spreads confusion and ignorance. That's his go-to. Right. Let me
Yep.
finish this off. It says, and they
yeah.
covet fields. Right. They covet land, and this is why Esau spread himself so vigorously throughout the earth.
Mhm.
more. I don't know. Have you brothers got a video that you wanted to play?
Ah,
No, got it.
Because I got, if you don't mind, I don't know how long you brothers have, but I've got the perfect video that they just
send
go.
it through, I'll put it on.
Huh?
If you send it through on WhatsApp, I'll put it on.
All right, I'll send it to you in a second, right? This man
Yep.
was more aggressive in terms of conquering lands than anyone else. Most peoples kind of conquer their neighbors and just chill. Yeah, like if you say like you're in Africa, man would just conquer a few African men around him and relax. Like the Mongols did their thing over like their sides. Esau done the four corners of the earth, including Antarctica, the Arctic, and he trying to go into space. This guy is insatiable in his lust for land and power, bro. This man went into the middle of the Pacific Ocean and found niggas there.
Exactly. Yeah, when you so because it's I always remember like one day I was like, where actually is Hawaii? And then like you look at it and it's like, yo, why did Esau go there? Why is that part of the United States of America?
Man's deep in the Congo jungle, like man's just going everywhere. He leaving no stone unturned.
Bro, even with the people called the Pagos people or whatever they call Pagos, bro, he just gazumped a people's land to make a fucking army base. He just moved people. He just took a whole country and said, you know what? Strategically, this serves us best to make it, you know what I mean, a base. So let's just strip away a whole people and move them away to somewhere else.
Yeah, boy.
That's the devil.
Satan, and that's not, see, because what they'll do is say, oh, other people had slavery, you're right, no, it's true, but you Edomites, you take evil and wickedness to a level that's not been known to mankind. You're on a next level. You're like the Hall of Fame level, man. You're S tier. No one does it like you. You're undisputed, like no one. And we're going. I got a video. I'm going to send it to you and say, let me finish the scripture. It says, and take them by violence. You're a violent man. You know, you like to run around and act like you're not violent, and everyone else is violent. But the truth of the matter is that Esau unprecedented levels of violence throughout the earth. From every inch of the earth, you've exerted your violence. No other people have done that. Yeah, like you know, Elam and them man will get busy, but it's always localized.
Yeah,
you will be getting busy in a place that your own people can't point to on a map. Yeah. It says, and houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man, right? That's your form of rulership, oppression. They oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. All right. Let me send you this thing. Hold on. I might click out because you know this thing.
I have a precept up.
Yeah, go on.
Precept. So this is Psalms 140 and 1. It says, deliver me, O Lord, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man, which imagine mischiefs in their heart. Continually are they gathered together for war. It's like, bro, these niggas don't stop. That's their nature.
Yep.
Even like, you know, can't stop. You know what I mean? Like it's real like that. He really continually are gathered together for war, and that's their nature. Like, I mean, if we go back to even Alexander the Greek, remember the Lord had to take him out. He had to take him out because he wasn't trying to chill. Even his army man was like, "Bro, we've conquered a lot. So we like go home, please." And it's like the Lord obviously had to. You know what it's like, bro. Like after a while, it's like, yo, and obviously Rome. You know that had to get wounded. You know, and then obviously it's back now. But
Bro, the only
Rome
thing
was,
that stopped Rome was like Afghanistan and them places was difficult. But
exactly.
once Esau got the technology to go further through the British and the Dutch, you know, once they had the ships and the ability to project their military throughout the earth, bro, they didn't wait, bro. They said, what?
They didn't wait.
Just go, man.
And bro, they kept coming back. There's battles they would lose. You know, like some ancient peoples, men of valiant, you know what? We've lost. We might try again, maybe one more time. But then just after that, you leave it. But Esau, whether it's Rome, Hannibal, whoever, we just gonna keep coming back. And basically, they just fall under that kind of weight of pressure. You know what I mean? So it says, which imagine if mischiefs in their heart continually are they gathered together for war. They have sharpened their tongues like a serpent. Adder's poison is in their lips. So all any code of righteousness that they pretend to have or appear to people's eyes to have, bro, just know a darker agenda is always in their mind. Even the most basic of things. Like, I mean, even just sport, as an example. Do you know what I mean? Child, pedophile rings it fucking exist in just sport, in television or entertainment. There's wickedness there. So how much more the
Yeah.
biggest spectrum? And
That's
guess
it.
what? Anytime they broadcast shit on TV about, like, um Prince
Andrew.
Andrew or whatever, that's just to cover up the real deeper,
Mhm.
darker shit that's happening. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and it makes it look like there's some checks and balances. There ain't no checks
Mm,
and balances, man. It's
Yeah.
all a fraud. This guy
mm,
is unprecedented levels of evil, man, and it's gonna really take us to be in the kingdom to really get our minds around. Once we get access to that spiritual Google, exactly
mm,
how much evil this man was doing out here.
Mm.
mm,
This man is doing evil on a level that's unknown to mankind.
mm,
Industrialized evil.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? People don't understand. So when we call this man the devil, because people are caught up in the propaganda and they think that there's some good Edomites and they think that the charities are out there actually trying to help people and they think
mm,
James Bond is going around the world trying to save the world from the evil terrorists. They don't understand that, bro. They fund the terrorists.
That's
mm,
it.
Esau is the terrorist. He's a demon on a level unknown to mankind. It's never been seen before. This
mm,
level of devilry.
mm.
That's it.
That's
But
what he excels in, man. Lying, he's
Big Dev.
perfected propaganda, bro.
Yep.
He's
yeah.
perfected the art of propaganda, the art of manipulating the masses.
Mm,
Jake didn't
hmm
do that. Esau did that.
mm,
Yeah. I was just to say real quick because I shared this yesterday and I did a vid on it, touching on this, right? And the reason why I found it interesting, what I wanted to go into it was basically this character. If you remember, the Dark Knight Rises, when he was told, "Hey, for the sake of the agenda, we are going to sacrifice you," he was with it. He just had one question:
You started the
mm,
fire.
the fire, right?
Fire writers.
mm,
Yeah,
To the
because
point.
that's all it is. Listen, this is why the truth. I said it when it come to Trump. Trump was talking about, oh, he gonna expose. Look, bro, if the truth, the absolute truth of this kingdom, right, how it works, and
Oh,
who
bro.
Esau is, was to ever be actually acknowledged, the whole kingdom would be on fire that day. Because the mind, psychologically, the average person's mind won't even be able to comprehend how
Yeah.
insane,
Yeah.
like, oh, so you're telling me that the people that feed me, the people who run the entire system I rely on, is actually Satan.
Yeah.
You know how messed up that is? Like, you have to live in a world where you think there's some good, like there's someone
Yeah.
out there looking out for you. When you find
Mm,
out, like, it's like, no, there ain't, bro. You're on your own out here. It's just you and the Most High. Like, these
Mhm.
men are like, they're you watching all these movies. That's not even real. There are no good
mm,
guys. Like, they don't exist.
yeah. You know what, bro? Is it cool if I read a quick precept on that? Yeah.
Yeah, can't.
This is Second Thessalonians 2:8, which to a certain degree is what we're doing now. Well, not to a certain degree. That's exactly what we're doing now. But ultimately, the Lord's going to take him out. It says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall
Mm.
destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power, signs, and lying wonders.
That's Esau, the man of sin. Yeah, his
Yep.
workings are the workings of Satan. Everything he does, like we could sit here from now until the kingdom come, just going into all the madness that this guy's doing, and still not really come to grips with the evil of this man.
Yeah.
These men are talking about this guy Jimmy Savile, right? Bro, they're talking about the man covering up the grooming gang. So what was Jimmy Savile? And he got a green beret. The man got a military award,
Damn.
and he ain't never been in the military. And they waited until he was dead to bring out the information.
Exactly.
And then everyone pretended, no, oh, we didn't know. Okay, cool. No one knew.
Yeah.
You got he's flipping best friends with Prince Charles, who's protected by MI6 and MI5, one of the top intelligence agencies on the planet Earth, with all kind of listening devices and all kind of surveillance technology. You don't get near the prince. They know what you ate for breakfast. They know how many strokes you gave your woman the night before, blood. They did their due diligence. But this guy is doing all kinds of pedophilia and no one knew about it. The MI5, MI6 were just like sleeping on it, yeah? They didn't know.
Exactly.
No, it's because the job of MI5 and MI6, one of their jobs is to help cover up these things. That's the reality. Yeah?
Yeah, because there was, I always remember there was one clip where like Savile, he's on the, what you call it's a live show, right? And then he's basically now starting to fondle someone behind him, right? And then they just zoom in so you can't see her basically just like, tweaking at the back.
He was molesting girls during church ceremonies. All kind of craziness, man.
And if I can say, how is it that Charles is friends with a PDF and Andrew's friends with the PDF? But it's just like, oh no, it's just Andrew. No, it's like, no, that's all of you.
Yep.
Spooky.
Working of Satan.
Yeah, I've got a preset. When you're done.
Yep.
It's Revelation 18 and 6. Not 6. 18 and 5, Salakit, right? So for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities, right? And that's twofold, right? On the one, they've literally got stuff in the heavens, right? But then on the other hand, it's like, you've got the metaphor of, it's, for instance, it stinks to high heaven. It's like their sins, all of the wickedness that he has gone. It's like it's amassing. Right, it's compounding upon compounding
on every level. And let me say this as well: it's not just the JOOs, man, because that's a scapegoat now. These Edomites, these everyday Edomites, and these
Oh, mate, it's
all the no, bro, no, they're Edomites, you're Edomites, you're all part of this, man. Don't try to act like you're just another nation of people and these men are so wicked. No, they're just your heads.
Yeah.
You just as guilty, just you doing all that madness. Don't pretend like we're not gonna play these games. All you Edomites, you're all Satan. Whether you got a small hat on or not, you're Satan.
Yeah. A small hat, a fitted cap, you're still a demon. You know what I'm saying?
Bacon hat, everything.
Bacon hat. I have a preset. I have a quick one just before the video. This is Isaiah 47 and 12. Stand now with thine enchantments and with a multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou labored from thy youth. Obviously, Babylon and its whole founding, which is built on straight up witchcraft again.
Yeah, and that's another thing. That's another thing. These guys want to act as if they're righteous and they're following the ways of the scriptures. They've never been following the ways of the scriptures. It's always been an act. These men have never been, where this is Britain is a Christian nation. Oh yeah? When did you act like it?
Exactly.
Get the hell out of here. All of a sudden, did you notice they all talking about Ash Wednesday, Shrove Tuesday?
Bro.
What? Bro, listen.
These Baconites don't care about God, bro.
Bro.
These Baconites don't care about God.
Come on. They've done shed that skin a long time ago, bro. That was just a skin. They're a skin walker, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and
At the core of your society has always been one thing and one thing only, and that's Satanism. And how can
yeah,
you use all different manner of witchcraft to achieve your will? Because deep down inside, you believe you are God. That's
yeah,
the nature of an Edomite. You're a carnal man, and you all you want is power to fulfill your lusts. That's it. You don't care where it comes from.
yep. And
Yeah, you know what I'm
and,
saying? So
and
let's not play these games that they try and play. Like, you've never been righteous, right? You've never done the right thing. America was founded by Satanists,
yep.
and
Well,
that's the bottom
well,
line.
well, bro. I mean, even on a point because I was going to mention this, bro. Benjamin Franklin, one of the forefathers, right, the founding fathers, his house in London. You can actually type this in. His house in London. They found multiple dozens of skulls under his basement. His house in London, bro. If you don't mind, can you quickly type it up about Benjamin Franklin, bro?
The
His house in
demon.
London that still exists. The founding forefathers. That's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
four score and all that, bro. His house had dozens of bodies under his basement. Why was it
yeah,
there?
yeah, because it's what you call it? It's just by Charing Cross station. I remember just walking to the station one day, and I just saw. I was like, "Oh snap!" Um, yeah, let me look that
Would you
up.
see that?
No, I'm just looking for a decent what you call it
Okay.
article on it.
Yeah, like
There we
just
go.
his London home, bro. You gonna read that, bro?
Yeah, it says
Satan, man.
yeah, Smithsonian Magazine says, why were there so many skeletons hidden in Benjamin Franklin's basement?
Oh,
During
he's just
restoration,
doing research. He's just bored. You know, maybe someone came to visit and slipped and fell. No,
That's
he's
the Ripper,
fucking
bro.
doing sacrifices in that bitch. You know?
yeah, and
Go ahead.
this exactly what you said. It's like we don't even need to read the rest to know that they're gonna make up some BS as to why that was the case,
Mm,
right? Because for the longest time, has basically used his PR machine, his
hmm
how people have viewed him to basically just fan off. Oh yeah, it's Benjamin Franklin. It won't be anything bad. There'll be a good reason for it. No, but we
Yeah, because
understand.
they have this PR that they are civilized, and it all goes back to the idea of them being white, man.
hmm
But this is a lie, and this is the new thing.
Yep.
Esau is
36.
black. Esau is black. There
Mhm.
is no one on this earth that more represents being black than Esau. Esau is a true and original and foundational black man. He is. They are the black people of the earth, and the elect of Israel are the white people.
Mm,
If you look up the meaning of the word white, it means perfect, it means holy, it means pure. None of those things
mm,
represent Esau. Esau is black.
mm,
Mm. Yep. I was just reading it real quick. So it says, for nearly 2 decades leading up to the signing of the Declaration of Independence, Benjamin Franklin was a boarder in a house at 36 Craven Street in London. It says the future founding father left his English home and returned to America in 1775. 2 centuries later, bones from more than a dozen bodies were found in his
Dozen bodies,
basement.
bro.
Yeah, where
Good.
they had been buried in a mysterious windowless room. Oh, you could have just said dungeon beneath the garden, right?
Damn.
And that's one of the things that Esau will do. He will use certain words depending on the situation, right? One of the things that
Make it
he's going
light.
to use
Yeah.
exactly one of the things that's used a lot, about immigration. When the person's not white, they're an immigrant, right? But then when Esau's going to Spain and them places, they're an expat, right? And that's how
Mhm.
he will use certain words, right? And then he'll just, well, expat, it really means X, Y, Z. No, you're in another country. Even Tommy Robinson, I saw
Yeah,
one where
isn't
he was
it?
basically asking for money to help him move to another country.
That guy's such a cokehead, bro.
Yeah, the skeletons
Oh,
had
he's
gone
off the
on.
packet every day, man.
He's a cokehead.
And again, and that's another thing that they don't get to be stigmatized when they're the
Yeah.
number one drug users on the planet Earth, bro. This is mad.
Yep. Number one, bro.
They love the packet.
Bro, even shit, drug users, drug dealers, they have drug pushers, bro.
Yeah.
They have a history of drug dealing. You know what I mean? Bro, remember when we went into that information, bro? Which, hey, that's Lord willing, that's going to be another video. Just how many colonial nations made money off drugs? And you just see everybody: Portugal, England, America, Dutch. They sell drugs, and
Yep.
they've historically done it. But now, uh, 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 2/3 on a bike is the face of drug dealing, or some Mexicans. Damn
Yeah.
hypocrite, bro.
So
Yeah,
because
no,
they could use that as a weapon to criminalize them and put them in jail. Meanwhile, they're the ones actually controlling it from the top. It's mad.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying, man. There's so much wickedness. It's dishonorable, man. It's just dishonorable.
Yeah.
yeah. So I was reading this, and I'm just like, this is just the most cap that I have ever seen in my life.
You sure
Right?
about that?
Supposedly from NIH. So some studies
Yeah.
have indicated higher prevalence of cocaine use among black individuals compared to white.
No way.
That's cap.
No
That's
way.
bro.
There's no
There's
way.
9 fucking Edomites now in the staff room who were getting it down,
Exactly.
bro.
Exactly.
Shit, man, I know them. You know what I mean? I never use, but you know what I mean? I know them. You know what I mean? Them niggas are going in
Bro,
every lunch break, bro. Come
bro.
on, man.
This guy Kennedy said he was sniffing the packet off toilet seats,
Toilet
bro.
seats.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Let's stop the cap, bro.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
when you
Esau's
go
a
to like
freak, man.
a pub in the ends, as we say, right? Meaning
Yeah.
where we are, you never see signs about don't do drugs in the toilets, otherwise you'll be prosecuted. You go to the pub in the so-called Edomite area, that's what you'll be seeing them signs. And it's like,
Yeah.
what goes on in it? But that's
Bro,
because
don't you
that's
remember that time man went into the toilet in Weathers in Barking and there was a father-son duo going back to back on the packet, blood, in the toilet, blood. They were whiffing it
Yeah.
back like mercilessly.
Bro,
Father-son duo, bro. Come on,
that's
man.
terrible.
They're
Bro, like,
generational packet
cocaine.
sniffing.
yeah,
Yeah, bro,
remember,
that's part of the culture of Britain now. It's
yeah,
actually
yeah,
embedded into the culture,
yeah.
you
I
know?
was gonna
Sport
say,
and football
remember.
hooliganism.
Yeah, I was going to say. Remember, there was that city of London mayor, a mayoral candidate that basically says to stop the Class A's, we're going to test everyone in where in the city of London. Who works in the city of
Mm,
London? Just Edomites. Needless to say, he
yeah.
didn't win,
Mm,
right?
of course he
Because
didn't.
that's all they do. If you
That's
Bro,
certain
all they do.
certain
you
professions,
start getting them hair follicle tests, bro. It's peak.
It
hmm
gets dark. It gets dark.
Right, when you pull up that video, just hit it from the 27th minute. You brothers gonna love this, cause this, trust me, this video is crazy.
Mm.
You gonna love it.
yeah. Let me know if you both can hear. Yep.
In the skin of those people who
Yeah.
continuously
Okay.
see it. So sometimes be quiet, listen, and learn. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe you have some thoughts, Professor Jung.
No, I completely agree. The entire Western outlook is that white people are superior, and I think it comes from the fact that the Anglosphere, the Anglo-American Empire, it was built on genocide, on colonialism, right? So look at the trillions of dollars that Britain stole from India. Look at all the opium that Britain forced upon the Chinese. Look at the
Yep.
fact that the indigenous people of North America, of South America, of Australia and New Zealand were basically wiped out during the rise of the British Empire. And so there's all these crimes, there's all these tragedies. And rather than just admit or concede that the British Empire is built on evil, they have to come up with a philosophy that made them feel good about themselves. And this philosophy, of course, is white supremacy, which is based on what? It's based on evolution, created by Charles Darwin. It's created on the idea of race. It's and it's a belief that there's something about the white people that makes them intrinsically superior. It's the fact that white people, they follow the rules. It's the fact that white people, they get along with each other. It's the fact that white people are more creative than other people. Now,
And this is what we were just talking about, right? The fact that they could
exactly
take all, they could take the packet, but then there's no stigma attached.
Yep.
Because under the system of white supremacy, all the evil of Esau gets winked at. It's just like it doesn't exist. But then if Jake does something, that gets highlighted and magnified, and that's just who you are. And we see that play out every day. Esau goes shoot up a place. Now they're trying to blame which most of these guys are MK Ultra candidates here. And now they're saying, oh, these transgenders are violent. No, bro. I ain't never seen a black transgender shoot up nowhere, bro. Stop trying it, bro. It's not transgenders that's violent, bro. It's you. You Edomites, bro. You like shooting up your family and doing madness, bro. Stop it. Stop it. Just admit, you have a problem. It's you. Yeah. You're a genocidal maniac. You could have grew up in the best home, in the best conditions, and you might still kill your whole family. Yeah. With the Bentley outside. It's just the truth. You're a natural born killer. This is true. Serial killers, man.
I'm sorry, bro. And then you go to the plantation and you gotta fucking hear these Baconites talk about black and white crime, knife crime. Nigga, have you seen your crimes? Can we get a spreadsheet out? If we get out the receipts. But then you know what? Once we talk about the conquering and murder that he's done, Esau, when he gets backed into his corner, you know what he says? He says, well, if they were strong enough, why didn't they beat us? Which really is because the Lord gave you the power.
Yep. And that goes back to might is right too, which is satanic.
Yeah. Might is right.
You don't, so that means you don't really believe in righteousness, because righteousness isn't based upon who's strong. Righteousness is based upon the word of the Heavenly Father. So I don't get to take another man's wife just because he's weak. Oh, well, he wasn't as strong as me, so it makes it right. No, it don't, bro.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, I could steal his house because I was stronger than him. No, that's not how righteousness works. Doesn't work like that, bro. That's not what it means to have morals, man. And then they make these shows like Game of Thrones, and they throw in a few moral characters. But notice in Game of Thrones, there's like 2 moral characters in the whole thing. Because in reality, man, Esau, you ain't got no chivalry, bro. No honor. Get the hell out of here, man.
And he wants wickedness. Esau doesn't want to be righteous. That's what people don't get. He don't want to be righteous, bro. Cain said, "I'm my brother's keeper." Here it is. You know the Lord knows what you've done. They're like, "Wait, it has nothing to do with me."
Yep.
That's his spirit. You know what I mean? He remember again, his brother gave the righteous sacrifice. He gave the wicked sacrifice. But they was both taught by their father. So why did they both do righteousness? No, because he last is wicked.
Yep.
Yeah,
but to the thing about Esau is, the reality is, and it's a sad reality for him, that he is inferior. It's a sad reality. And so the only way for him to get ahead is to do wickedness. This is just the reality. The only way for him to win the race is he has to cheat. He has to lie. He has to steal. He has to murder. He has to oppress. This is how he is able to get ahead in the world. This is how he has gotten ahead in the world. If he didn't do all that, if he tried to do righteousness, he'd just be normal like everyone else. He wouldn't excel. That's why they're crying about DEI. Oh, bro, this man has had every advantage in the workplace for the last 500 years.
Yep.
And you put some job applications out in a black neighborhood. Oh, it's DEI. Oh, they hire one black woman. Oh my God, this race is against me. Bro, you've been lying on your CV for years. You've been getting jobs because of your uncle.
Yeah. I seen it. I see it every day at work, man.
You've been getting away with making mistake after mistake after mistake and failing upwards. Because remember, Jake ain't allowed to have a bad day. Because as soon as Jake has a bad day in the office, he didn't belong there in the first place. You realize that. If there's a black pilot and he makes a mistake, they will say, well, he shouldn't have been there. because that goes back to scientific racism. He shouldn't have been a pilot in the first place because there was a white man naturally who would have been more qualified because genetically he's got a high IQ. When the white man taking mushroom, who was that Edomite the other day? Took some damn hallucinating drugs and tried to turn the engine off on the plane, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we need to figure out what happened. They weren't like, oh well, he's low IQ and they didn't. It didn't. No, it's just he made a mistake. He made a mistake. But let that have been a Jake. Oh, he didn't belong there in the first place. You're not allowed to have a bad day when you're a Jake. You're not allowed to fail. Otherwise, it means you and your whole bloodline are failures. But Esau can fail. Esau can do that. Or Esau could go bankrupt. Trump can go bankrupt 20 times and they'll still praise him as the best businessman there is. And why is he a good businessman? Because the Rothschilds bailed him out. Because he's an insider. Not because he has a high IQ. But then you look at someone like Dame Dash and it's like, yeah.
I'm mocking.
Well, Dame Dash didn't get bailed out by the Rothschilds. Lucky man, go on that.
That's
good. It's all good. Yeah, no, I said that's why I had that German wings crash of I think it was 2013 or something like that. You know, Andreas Lubitz, all right, make of that what you will. But basically, man just crashed a whole plane into the side of a mountain, downward descent, crashed it direct. Oh yeah, he had mental health issues, man. Yeah, you know, we need to help these pilots with their mental health issues. But it's like these ones get these.
Yeah, if I get on a plane, I want to see a old white man. Why? They crash planes. Go look at who crashes the planes. But again, when Esau does stuff just like the white woman, when the white woman's divorcing people and taking all their money, she will get go get you a white woman. Or what? So they don't do nothing? It's the white man and the white woman get to just do madness in the earth, and the PR just ignores it. Like they're still the best, and that's what these guys are trying to say. That all that was established in the system of white supremacy. That no matter how evil we are, we're still good. You know, oh yeah, you know, we're still good. That's what calling themselves white achieved. That's what the whole white supremacy. We are still better than you. We could act like gangsters, but we're not gangsters. We're civilized. So when we go and blow up your country, it was civilized. When we go and steal your oil, it's civilized. No, I'm not like Pookie. Yeah, Pookie came up on the block and shot shit up, yeah, but he's a savage. When I go and blow up the whole city, oh well, I'm civilized. Obviously, there's a difference.
Yep.
That's and this is what we're dealing with in this system.
Yeah, I thought I had shared it. Maybe I didn't. But basically, there was a video which online you never know what's true, but it was like you had what was probably Democratic voting children and their Republican parents, and basically the thing that the children asked, like, so wait there, if Trump was to be like, yo, we need to level up Oklahoma, right? Would you be for it? And then the parents were like, yeah, because there must be a reason why. Like, these Edomites, when they see it's like, well, if we're making that decision, there's obviously a good reason why we're blowing that place up.
Yeah, exactly, man. They got the benefit of the doubt. They're allowed to fail. They're allowed to be an individual when it's something wrong, but when it's something positive, they could be a group. That's just how the game is. Go on out.
Yep. So back in the video as well, right?
Khan.
Yeah.
It's gonna get better. The video's gonna get better. Trust me.
So there's a side thing that I've just kind of seen, but basically they're trying to say that they're gonna go back to the moon, which could do a flyby by the moon no later than March 6th, right? Artemis is the name of the mission. So
why is it Artemis?
Yeah.
You know, bro, random name, innit? You know what I mean?
What's that got to do with America and NASA? Artemis.
Yeah.
Vibes.
Yeah, it's interesting because there's just a lot of numerology happening recently. Obviously, you know, March, God of War, and Artemis, I think, has a bow and arrow.
That's the huntress, the goddess of hunt. Yeah.
You know. But yeah, back on this one.
Now we don't ignore the fact that other races have their own intrinsic qualities to them. Okay, so for black people are athletically superior. We admit that, and like Asian people are better at math than we are. Okay, but we white people, we're just morally superior to all of you. You know, we believe in God. We're good Christians. That's what makes us superior. All right. Yeah, we admit black people are better at boxing and sports. We admit that white Asians are better at school.
Can I make a statement on that? Because with all of that, he likes to talk about the physicality of Jake as if to just be like, that's all Jake can do, right? Even when he makes that, that statement that he loves to make, it's like, but once they say once you go black, right? Really, he's just talking about the physical once again. It's just like, no, we as a nation, as a people, we're so much more than the physical aspects of us, right?
What?
And
No, sorry, bro.
you got it.
No, I was gonna answer you quickly on that, because if we go into the word for plain, right, when in Genesis 25 and 27, when it says, and the boys grew, and Esau was a kind of hunter, man in the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. If you go into the word plain down, right, it says perfect, complete, one who lacks nothing in physical strength, beauty, wholesome, uh, ordinary, quiet sort of person, morally innocent, having integrity, one who is morally and ethically pure. But then if you
Can I
go up
can
front,
can I add another
so
label to
like,
that? Can I
yep,
add another label to that? White.
yep,
Jacob was
yeah,
white.
yes, he was. He was pure.
Jacob was a white man.
Yep, yeah, basically, you know.
That's
And if you
that's
go,
what I've been telling people. We're the real white people.
that's right. You know,
He's a fraud.
if it ain't white,
He
it
stole
ain't
our
right.
title. He
Yep,
stole our title, man. He's trying to beat us. And this is really what it comes down to. We're the
yep,
ones that's gonna hold the position that Esau claims that he is. We're the enlighteners. We're the white. We're the perfect people.
mm-hmm,
That's why the scripture
mm-hmm,
says, "Be ye perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect." That's the purpose of this ministry, the
mm-hmm.
perfection of the saints, to be white.
Yeah, yeah,
Esau ain't white, man. He's red skinned and he's really black as a people. They're the true black people. They're the real Negroes.
yep, yep.
Salakia, man. I was just
No,
reading
no,
that. I was
no.
like, yeah, that's what white represents.
Yeah, yeah, because it says perfect. If it says perfect, plain, undefiled, upright, and if that's our forefather, of course, we are the seed of the righteous, right? So eventually, once we're changed and the new covenant is finally established, it says that people shall be all righteous. You know what I mean? It says that people shall be all righteous. So even if you read here, it's spiritual that it combines his wisdom, his morals, and his physical strength. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So in physical strength, he was perfect. In the spiritual
Beautiful.
sense, he was perfect too. He was beautiful. It was everything, and that's how we as a nation are going to be when everything is established upon the earth, man. So
Yeah,
if it ain't white, it ain't right. You know what I'm saying?
that's
You
right.
know?
Esau's the one that dumbed us down in chattel slavery and is trying to
Yep.
keep our minds and our vibration low. So we don't
Hmm.
actually realize that our potential is much higher. Like
Yep.
Esau's the one that puts Jake in a box that says, "Oh, you can only do this," or "No, we could do everything."
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We're a people that the Most High created everything. We're on that level in terms of being His children. So
Hmm.
there is no area of knowledge or understanding of wisdom that is beyond us. You go read about Solomon, the fury of the wild beast, the
Precept.
alterations of the sun, everything.
Yep. Hmm.
Got precept.
Yep.
Not just basketball,
Hmm.
It says Baruch 3:36. He hath found out all the way of knowledge and hath given it unto Jacob his servant and to Israel his beloved.
Right. The issue with us was choosing proper judgment. And that's what the
Yep.
new covenant is really all about. It's all about us. The core elements of us is going to be rooted in the righteousness of the Heavenly Father in order to judge all things. Right? So what Esau does is Esau thinks you can amass knowledge and then negate the spirit. But that knowledge you amass is going to work against you, because knowledge is one thing, but choosing righteousness is the most important. You can have knowledge, yeah, you can have technology, but if you don't make the right choices in righteousness, you're going to destroy yourself. And that's what's happening with Esau. Mr. High IQ.
Mr. High IQ. Well, it's true, because the scripture says what? Rebellion is a sin of witchcraft, and that the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. You know what I mean? It's like so this guy's involved in witchcraft. You know what I mean? He's basically a dude that researches some shit on a side of the internet that he shouldn't have, and then he just gets dark, and you're like, oh shit, this guy's bugging himself out.
Yeah, because at the end of the
Spirit of
day,
Esau.
Esau follows his lust. He's a thief, so he steals. So that anything he learns how to do will just improve his stealing, because that's what's in his heart. It is the carnal man. And that's the root of it, the man of sin. The root of it goes back to the fact that Esau's carnal and he uplifts the carnal things. He doesn't stand on truth. He doesn't believe that truth is something to be stood upon. He doesn't believe in righteousness or morality. He believes in the act of morality. He believes in the image of morality, but not morality itself. You know, and this is why the world under his rulership is the way it is. You know?
That's it. Back to the vid.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, Bubba dropped. Are you back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drop for a sec. Cool. Let me play back the vid.
Yeah. It's bro. Believe it or not, it gets better. This whole video, the way it says "is the West exceptional or exceptionally evil," is just telling you who the man of sin is. This is what I love about this video, because you can't. They're actually what they're roundabout saying in this video, but they don't know it. Is they're identify who the Edomites are.
Shit, man. I might have to come back and do a commentary. You know what I mean?
And these men are professors.
And saying stuff that our apostles, the elders, and brothers have been saying.
Yeah, the man's the devil.
As the devil. The other ones, like it's the same thing.
You're saying the same
He's
thing.
a devil. You know, that's it. You know.
That's it. What's beautiful as well about this is, you know, the precepts speak about, you know, how Esau would be revealed, right? And this is Esau being revealed, because I was just looking through the comments. You're seeing people from all different nations just being like, yeah, man, you know, the Lord is slowly lifting off that veil.
That man of sin.
Yeah.
Bro, he really can't. He's been made bad. Like he's been made. He can't hide himself, bro. Like and all. You know what I mean? He's been fully exposed. And when he gets taken down, bro, all the riches and everything he swallowed down is going to be vomited back up violently, bro. But just on this level, it's too much. The exposure is like now, sometimes I'm scrolling on social media and shit, and it's like what things like Eustace Mullins and Jordan Maxwell, things that was in the deep depths of YouTube, of the internet that you could never find. Now it's mainstream. It's everywhere now. It's like everything's exposed at every level. Like that's why now it's time for judgment, because before the Lord brings the judgment, he obviously says his prophets should speak about it, and then it's manifest, and it's time for his judgment, man. So
That's right.
it's only a matter of time. Go ahead, bro.
Yep.
White people are just more superior, and therefore we ought to rule. And that's the framework that all white people believe, that we are just inherently more superior to everyone. Okay.
Yeah. It appears we all have deep roots in countries that suffered enormously at the hands of white supremacists of Europe or of European origin. And One other thing I want to add about Canada. By the way, I think the Epstein scandal is quite enlightening for a number of reasons, and obviously in a horrible way. And one of them is the deep connections of Epstein and that cabal to Buckingham Palace and to the British royal family. I'm seeing people who are credible commentators in the alternative media and the mainstream media suggesting that this could be the demise of the British royal family, these revelations.
It's the demise of Esau, the whole of them. The whole is the
Every
demise of
blood
the
clot, one
whole,
of them.
every blood clot one of them. You know what I mean? It's the demise of the whole people, bro. Because that's what you know what's so funny about Esau, yeah? When it comes to so-called achievements and good, they're one people. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, it's sort of like
Yeah.
boxing.
Man, that we invented the mobile phone. Meanwhile, man's an
Yeah,
idiot.
yeah, exactly.
Man can't
You
spell
know,
mobile phone.
yeah, it's sort of like with boxing. When it comes to boxing, you have these Baconite Brits that will be like, oh, Usyk and Loma, great white boxers. Well, when it comes to wickedness being exposed, or is east or any evil, it's nah, man. It's just the Jews over there. It's just the Spanish, Portuguese. No, if you're gonna be there for good times, also be there for the bad times when it's time
Yep.
for you to get exposed.
And
You know?
one thing in this video, what these guys do that I like, they don't just stick on America and Britain. They
Mm,
go into the
mm.
Dutch and they say, listen, bro, all these men
All these
that
man,
have
all
done
these man.
madness, and some of these men like to sit on the sideline and point the finger now.
Yep,
But you check their history, they were doing the most.
bro. Like even countries that you don't think about, Norway,
Yeah.
Poland, Sweden. Like even with the transatlantic slave trade, like a lot of these smaller countries, you know what I mean? Like Norway and Sweden, the chains and stuff, what like the iron and steel the mine came from those regions. So here it is. You might just think about the slave trade. Oh, Britain, Portugal, Dutch, Germany, but even smaller countries like a Poland or a Sweden, they even had a part to play, like in that aspect. You know
Absolutely.
the wood and timber used to make the slave ships. You
Yep.
again might speak about this, but where did they extract the wood from? Who actually cut down those lumber? You know what I mean?
And
It's
they
like
had
yeah,
colonies too. A lot of them had
yes,
colonies. They had business interests. It wasn't
yep,
just America and the British or the Spanish and I think the Dutch is the one that actually started it all.
yeah, Dutch.
So yeah, but they're gonna go into it. So roll the video, man. It's gonna get better, trust me.
Bro, that beautiful beef footage.
Yeah. That beautiful
But
beat.
one other thing I want to say about Canada media cabal to Buckingham Palace and to the British royal family. I'm seeing people who are credible commentators in the alternative media and the mainstream media suggesting that this could be the demise of the British royal family, these revelations. What a glorious day that would be. But one other thing I want to say about Canada, and I don't mean this with disrespect to the entire population. I know many wonderful people in this country who are true heroes of social justice and anti-imperialism, and it's been a privilege to work with them, and I'll always have a deep affection and respect for them. But the fact is that the elite in this country, the Anglo-American elite, is unspeakably depraved, and sadly, a very significant proportion of the population supports these elites and continuously empowers them. And one thing, when Professor Zhang was talking about how they perceive themselves as being morally superior, they also perceive themselves to be more enlightened and knowledgeable than everybody else. But my impression, having lived all across the West, I lived in France, I lived in Greece, I've lived in Australia, I lived in the United States for 7 years, and I spent a good deal of time traveling outside of the Western world, is that Canada is one of the most brainwashed populations on God's green earth. And
I remember like hearing one more old quote. It was like, "Yeah, man, BBC isn't propaganda, right?" Which is the British broadcasting channel, where you got like the different news agents and stuff like that. right? But when you look at everything that they push, they're very much a agent of Esau's propaganda, right? Just, and I'm using that as an example just to show just how propagandized, which that word, let me just look it up again, right? Basically is to like propagate,
It's
right?
witchcraft. It's really witchcraft.
Yeah,
Propaganda is witchcraft because you can control someone's actions through propaganda.
that's it.
You're basically creating a false world for them to live in, an illusion.
That's it. That's it. So yeah,
Mind
propaganda.
control.
And I said people are under this mind control that Esau has put on them, man. Right. So whereas people in the West, always remember speaking to someone who which you call a Russian, and what they basically was saying was just like, yeah, we know our government's corrupt, but it says we're in a better stead because you guys believe your government's good, right? And that's just it. It's like these people in the West, they actually think that their governments are for them. Right? That's why they'll listen to whatever Trump says or this and the other. Whereas people in other parts of the world, right, they know that their leaders are full of, full of it.
Yeah, you got people saying that we should have put Kamala in. So they just don't get it, man.
That's it. It's a brother back. Where's he gone, sir? Is he back? There we go.
Well, you got internet issues.
I don't know.
Man's got that Arsenal broadband provider, blood. Flaky.
Nah, I'm still here.
Oh, see. I thought I had the Emirates Wi-Fi. Saying.
Oh man.
Mad thing.
I think there are simple part of the reason for this, especially when we talk about what's happening in the broader world. Canadians don't have a damn clue about what's happening in the broader world. And one of the reasons for this is they're actually geographically isolated. You know, the vast majority, something like 90% of the Canadian population lives within 150 kilometers of the American border, in a narrow band right along the American border. We are constantly bombarded.
Bro, jump to 37.
37, yeah.
Yeah. I know I don't want to take up the whole time. Let's get through.
Away from my conservative upbringing. And as I mentioned, I've gravitated pretty far from my political education, shall we say. So today, I personally am of the view that in all of human history, there has never been a force more evil and destructive in this world than the Anglo-American Empire. The British in particular.
Bro, we're going to have to do a part 2 and do a commentary, bro, because there's a lot here. There's no way we can just skip it. Yeah, can't. Nah. There's a lot here. Because it's true.
I gotta be like Wilder. It's the facts.
Yeah, it's the facts, man. It's the facts. Bro, there's a lot of evil, bro.
Truth. I got the facts.
Bro, like even if we just, again, even, look at the British East India Company, like, them massacres. People just died. Like, imagine there's just millions of massacres. So there's millions of people who've died over the span of history from the British Empire massacres, East India companies, and all that kind of stuff. And people don't even speak about it today. People people died, didn't it?
Well,
there's a lot of people.
And these guys get to be revered.
Yeah,
they're
praised.
They're not gangsters and criminals and thugs. These guys are revered. Their family members are now aristocracy, walking around with like their shit don't stink, looking down on mans in the slums.
Yeah,
it's insane.
It's insane, bro.
But listen, these are intellectuals. These are professors. These are mans well read, well educated in history. They're like, yo, this man is the most evil.
Yep. Facts.
That's it.
Yep.
What they have done, they have the blood, and the U.S. government, they have the blood of hundreds of millions of people on their hands. The direct and indirect victims may in fact number in excess of 1 billion. when you look at all the wars that they've waged over their 500 years of dominance and the starvation policies, the genocide, the mass rape, the cultural suppression, the sanctions,
Yeah. The Eco's message is sanctions. Because what's good here is he's basically not just stopped at the act of the gun straight away, right?
Yep.
He's gone into some of the other things that Esau's doing, right? Because right now you have this blockade, a siege of Cuba, right? Which basically it's like, yo, if they don't get fuel and stuff like that, it's gonna people gonna die.
And it's the poor people. It's not the rich Cubans.
Yeah.
It's the poor.
It's not the rich Cubans affected.
I won't play this, but I was just looking at different articles and I saw this. I thought it was an article, but it says break American siege of Cuba. And that because that's what we're seeing. We're seeing.
And why? What's Cuba going to do to America?
Exactly.
Man, the only thing people know about Cuba is flipping rum and cigars, man.
Cigars and boxing.
And some boxers, they get into the professional ranks and just run.
Yeah.
Nah, brother.
No, come on, nah, bro. We're not gonna do this, bro. Cuban fighters are known. Cuban fighters are known for running, and then when you stick it on them, they quit. It's a fact. Bro, I'm being real, bro. They be dancing around the ring, and as soon as they fight someone that sticks it on them, they start quitting, bro. They ain't got no dog in them, except Gamboa. Gamboa had dog.
Yeah, till Bud knocked him out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Bud's a super middleweight, bro. Anyway, go.
And there will be no happier day for me personally than to witness and live to see the fall of the Anglo-American Empire.
Wow,
that would be a great day for all of humanity. If we can.
Yeah, boy. Yeah. Here. God wills it.
God wills it. He's speaking facts, man.
Bro, these men were getting down. And these ain't no crazy. They'll say, oh, you Hebrew Israelites, you're crazy. Okay, these are 3 professors. These are 3 highly educated individuals. And they're just speaking the facts.
Nah, man. We're going to have to do a commentary, bro, on the whole video.
I'm with you, brother. I'm here.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, bro.
If we can survive its demise, which is going to be quite a challenge.
Yeah, and I would actually make a small comment on that. I think we should take it broader. I would not only say Anglo-American Empire. I would just say the Western European or European.
That's right.
So what's he basically saying? He's saying, look, bro,
Esau got to go down.
He's saying all of them. He's saying all of them.
All of them.
That's crazy, right? Because the other guy, it's the Anglo-American. No, man said, nah. Hold on, dog. Listen, blood. From every last one of them. But that's what the scriptures say.
Yeah.
The scripture condemns Esau as a whole.
Yeah. You know what? As well, this shows the spirit of the word is in the earth, because he's saying what we say, just needs a few more precepts. You know what I'm saying?
He needs a garment and a
garment, probably a bandana, and he's good to go. You know what I mean? But this is basically what we talk about, man. It shows you the spirit of the word is just engulfed the earth, man.
Yeah.
Speaking big facts.
That's it.
Empire, well, North American now as well, but I would say, because before the British, of course, for about 1 century, the first global colonial world superpower were the Dutch. One of my most popular articles is actually on my Substack about it. I will link to it here. So when you go to my Substack, you can see a list most read, and then you will see that article is actually one of the most read. It's about how the Netherlands was actually the pioneer of many of the horrible things that we see. For example, even here in China, you learn in business school that capitalism was born in Amsterdam. That is, the first stock market started in Amsterdam. That was during the height of the Dutch colonial power. And the Dutch pioneered slavery. They pioneered white supremacy. They pioneered corporate colonialism.
Even
So,
like even again, as you know, I was able to go to the slave castles in Ghana. You know, that's something they spoke about, how like the Dutch in particular changed a lot of the bloodlines and family names of certain local communities. There's a lot of people in Ghana with Dutch surnames because they straight up mixed with the Dutch, you know. But Dutch doesn't really get the main face for slavery, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They had a big part to play. Right, bro.
So you have the East India Company. Of course, it was first the Dutch who went around the world with the East India Company, and then later on, a century later, the British took over.
Mm-hmm.
So I always get a little icky when people say the what did you say?
American
Empire? Anglo-American Empire, yes, because that always that provides all these others, such as the Netherlands, which love that a sense of innocence. You know, they escape the guilt, because the Dutch were one of the first, if not the first, really Protestant empire that had that nasty racial supremacists,
yes,
etc., etc. And we had a very good show with Gerald Horne. People can look it up in our list of interviews, where Gerald Horne literally said the Dutch need to take responsibility for turbocharging the slave trade. And that is what people often not talk about. But it's definitely the case. And I like to read I like to read some sociological work on what the Dutch did in Malaysia and Indonesia, etc., and South Africa, of course. I mean, the word apartheid is the Dutch word, which means separating the races. People often don't know that, but apartheid is a Dutch word. The Dutch invaders to South Africa, of course, invented that idea, but they did the same in Indonesia, etc., etc. And when you read that sociological work of Dutch colonists,
bro, it's funny,
in
bro.
Indonesia, Malaysia, etc.
Remember that time? Remember that time when we saw that video of that Jake? You remember that Drake with locks? Well, that basically said, "Look, man, I tried to escape the system.
Yeah.
You know, I tried to go in the forest to build my house. I've done this, I've done that," and he just came to the conclusion that the only way is if we, you know, take out a certain, you know,
Exactly.
because it's E. Like E's history as E's sins, you know, they're being uncovered by this word and truth. But it's like that's why, in fact, I mean, one of the last few that we can get is Isaiah 14 when it talks about when he goes down, he ain't gonna get no mercy, bro, because he's just got a continuous, you know, destruction of multiple groups of people, and he never had to be held accountable for it. And his time is here and now, and this word is spreading, has spread throughout earth, and his tongue is falling upon himself. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's exposed on all levels, bro. The exposure of Esau is mainstream. You know what I mean? Before he was able to hide in the shadows or with people that are studious, but now it's just mainstream on all levels. This man just got to go down.
That's it. Yeah, if I can grab this just before I get that Isaiah for you, this is James 2:13. For he shall have judgment without mercy that hath showed no mercy, and mercy rejoiceth against judgment.
Yeah.
Right. And you said that there was a precept that came to mind because it's Edomite, right? He's just been doing the most. Right? And he's shown no mercy. Right?
Yeah.
You read some of the stuff, and this is what, once again, these are the things that are documented. Even right now, like what's happening with the whole Epstein stuff, right? He's just letting you know bits, right? He's not letting you know exactly what was going on. But when you look at the records of slavery, there are certain things that he has allowed to come out, right, or what's come out. But the actual things that this man was doing, yo,
cannibalism, bro. Cannibalism is something that people don't even talk about. Cannibalism was happening in slavery. Like again, I believe it was the University of Lancaster or Leeds over here in the UK did an expose on cannibalism, white cannibalism in the slave trade, and they exposed
Mm-hmm.
that there was a ship that was found that was seized in the 1800s, and when all the slaves, was basically in shock when they described the fact that there was a particular slave on the ship that they killed and chopped him up and served his body to all the slaves on the ship with a side of rice. There's actually studies on that, and on top of that, they even mentioned that the ship captains um was eating the slave's heart raw. Was actually biting his heart and his intestines raw, and it was in front of them. That ain't no conspiracy. That's in the University of Lancaster or Leeds, where they did an expose on that history, man. So, and that's just one account. That is just one account. Go ahead, bro.
Bro, it's a lot because I just asked the robot in it.
Mhm.
I was just like, yeah, man, tell me about cannibalism during slavery. Bro, all of it is basically about, yeah, when they're on the slave ships, yeah, them black people, yeah, sometimes they had to eat each other,
You know what?
And I was just like, wait, what?
Type in white cannibalism in slave trade.
But it goes on to say cannibalism by enslavers, right? There is no credible historical evidence that plantation systems involve systematic cannibalism as slavery practices. However, extreme brutality and yeah, so just completely just
Okay,
overlooked.
okay. Type in what about the seized ship that basically the slave spoke about being fed a fellow slave with a side of rice. Mumbled up those words, but figure it out. What does it say?
You're likely referring to testimony connected to the illegal slave ship Clotilda, which was seized in 1860 after secretly bringing captives from West Africa to the United States.
Mhm.
This story appears in post Civil War interviews with survivors, particularly those recorded decades later and later compiled in works like Barracoon. It says what is claimed, right? So even just using that word claimed is basically throwing shade at it. But it says some later retellings and oral accounts describe captives believing that they were being fed human flesh. Right, a fellow captive had been killed and served as food with rice. White captives were cannibals. However, historians caution that these claims came from recollections made decades after events.
You see, you see, you see. It's like that's why we call AI chat artificial idumia, bro.
I do.
Because, bro,
Yeah,
there's actual scholarly books on first-hand testimonies of it because this was during the time period when they were so-called trying to abolish slavery. So
hmm
when they captured this ship in particular, they interviewed them, like, tell us what happened, and basically everyone was in shock, telling them that,
yeah,
yo, we got fed a person.
yeah. And if I can say this here, this paragraph here, right, is just examples of like how Esau uses the English language to paint a narrative, paint a story, right? Because when it talked up here, it was basically saying, there's documented historical evidence,
Mm,
right? But then when we come down here, that Jake was doing it. But then we come down here, right? Basically says the fact that they've used the word claimed, right? It's already throwing doubt into people,
exactly.
right? Then it's going on to say captors believing that, right? So basically saying, well, it might not have been, it was all in their heads, right? Whereas like, no, like, if you're fed some mystery meat and then you saw a guy one day, you didn't see him the next, you didn't have any meat before that, one guy goes missing, and now you have meat. There's only one conclusion you're going to draw, right? And then here it says fear of cannibalism was widespread among captured, Africans, they say, because European slave traders were often rumored to be cannibals. So then even this bit here were often rumored to be, right? It's basically taken away from, no, they were.
Yeah.
That's what they were on.
Bro, let's not act like these are not the same people that when they first came to Babylon and was with the natives before they was set up probably to sustain and survive. They was doing cannibalism too, anyway. So come on, man, Esau's a hypocrite, man.
Yeah.
You know, but hey, I mean,
so as you see here, during starving time, blah, blah, blah. But once again, what word are we using here? Resorted to. So basically saying, yeah, man, the Edomites, they're not really like this.
Yep.
But they had no choice.
Exactly.
Right? This is no, this is just who you are. Right. And what we're seeing coming out in the Epstein files is confirmation of this.
That's it. That's it. I mean, yeah, man, we can get that Isaiah.
Oh yeah.
Just they that see, is this the man?
Yep. So Isaiah 14:16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms?
Yeah, no, yeah.
That made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. Right? So yeah, the heathen nations, they go and be like, look, man, is it him? I use the example of, look at these Cushites, man, right? People, you tell an Edomite, yeah, man, they used to be rulers of the world, but they'll laugh at you, like him, right? But this is how we go and be in the kingdom, right? We go and tell our kids, yeah, man, our children, Salaki, yeah, man, yeah, this is the Edomite. He used to rule the world, and they're gonna be like, Abba, la'ah.
Yep.
Say it ain't so. Right? It says, verse 18, all the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, even in his own house. Right? But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with the sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet.
Yeah. And guess what, man? It's just right. It's just right, man. It's just right. And it's just due. Because he's done nothing but bring evil and wickedness upon the earth. And he's had a long time of being seen as righteous, as being seen as pure. But now it's his time to, pay. And it's righteous. Hey, what does the scripture say? It's surely it's a righteous thing to recompense tribulation.
Yeah.
But then there's a lot of sins, a lot of wickedness around the earth that he's just not been held accountable for. Yeah, really, like Cain never took accountability. Esau never took accountability. It's never in this. It's never in the history of them taking accountability for their wickedness. Like this dude is not taking accountability since Cain, bro. And guess what? The Lord's going to hold him accountable. Obviously, we're holding him accountable through these words and prophecies and prophesying against him. But the Lord's going to make him pay. Like, no, you're being held accountable, and now you got to pay. And what's the payment? Your whole kingdom, your system being taken down. You were serving slavery, and then after a period of time, you're gonna be liquidated, literally.
That's it.
And there shall no be any remembrance of the house of Esau. So let's end with Obadiah. Obadiah, and let's just focus on verse 10, and then we can go down to verse 18.
Obadiah 1 and 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
Yeah, and it's just right, because their hearts wish has always has always been to exterminate us. So now that judgment's going to be on his head flipped when he gets taken down. You know, it's beautiful. Go ahead.
Yep, let's jump down to verse 17. It says, but unto Mount Zion, but upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness. The house of Jacob shall possess their possessions.
Mhm.
The house of Jacob shall be a fire, the house of Joseph a flame, the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh hath spoken it.
Yeah, and it's spoken. It's final. Is it finished? Or you know what I mean? Or is you done?
Is it
Like
done?
it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? And so, hey man, it's cool, man. Keep scrambling and scribing and striving to achieve your so-called NWO agenda, which really it fits in the realm of prophecy. But whilst you're obviously eating, it seems like you're getting where you want to be. Then you're just gonna be stripped. You know that plate gonna be
So,
smacked out of your damn hand. You're gonna be taken down, going to slavery, and the Lord is gonna establish His kingdom. And guess what? You know what? Yeah, can we end with one or two scriptures actually? One that I've not thought of have worn the crown in the Apocrypha, and then also read to see the fall of his enemy. But we are
yeah.
definitely gonna have to come back and do a part 2 on that whole video and do a commentary, man, because he was going in.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, I was just laughing when you because the image that was coming to my mind, scriptures talk about, when he's about to fill his belly.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever seen like a child, like with the ice cream, the one with a scoop, and
Yeah.
then they're getting ready to go in on that ice cream and then it falls to the ground.
Yeah.
And then they just stop.
Yeah. Yeah. It just falls flat. It's like through.
Yeah, kids just cries, and that's Esau.
Yeah.
Mark 11:5. Many kings have sat down upon the ground, and one that was never thought of hath worn the crown.
Yeah, and it's like there's, now we're in a beat down state, especially us brothers, right? But as a nation, people ain't thinking about us ruling. But guess what? They don't know that's exactly what is coming.
That's it.
You know what I mean? And hey, the Lord is coming back to establish authority. On his head was many crowns because he's going to take all authority and consolidate power. He's going to consolidate power upon the earth, man. Because all power and authority is already given unto him anyway. But now he's going to physically establish it. He's going to show it. Every knee shall bow and tongue confess. And this weak ass nigga, man, fucking Esau, man, they're going to be seeing that he's nothing, bro. Go ahead. And let's get the next one.
Yep. Sirach 25:7. There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that hath joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his
Yeah,
enemy.
and we are in that time. Not we're coming into them times, and no, we're in that time. Prophecy is taking shape stage by stage, and there's only that major one left, which is the mark of the beast. And then World War III going to spiral out of control. And then the return of the Lord is going to culminate with the destruction of Babylon with the ICBMs. We're going to be beamed up. These world armies going to try to fight our Lord, but the Lord is going to show his might and establish. And then we're going to live happily ever after, when
For real,
when
for
the new heavens and the new earth were indwelt for righteousness, man, for the Israelites. But just for the earth, because it's going to be under a righteous kind of order. And obviously these nations going to serve their judgment. And Esau going to be exterminated at a point. So, hey,
That's right.
with that, man, we hope and pray it was an edifying video. So with that, man, we're going to say all praises be to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Ba'Shem, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone.
Double honors.